Hello. Oh, a lovely day. Blue skies all round. Well, had a good day out yesterday on the bike with the wife on the back, just down into Essex, tea and cake type thing. But I thought today I would do a review of my kit. I've got a rally coming up in about 4 or 5 weeks time. Haven't took the kit out for a long while, so I'll just show you what I use, whether it's for 3 weeks, 2 weeks, a weekend. It's virtually the same, unless I'm not camping and I'm hoteling. Then obviously all the camp gear and the cooking gear vanishes and the wife takes over everything. Right, let's have a look. Spin you around. Right, first things first, panniers, aluminium, Touratech Mondos, cheap as they do, and the smallest they do. Okay, this one here is exhaust side, so this is what I have in the exhaust side. We'll go through it. Right, there we go. Let's put it on wide angle lens. Let's get a bit more in. Right, Helinox ground chair. Why do I use a Helinox ground chair? Well, it's low, and because I tend to cook on the ground with the Trangia, which I'll come to in a minute, the other chairs are too high and you end up being bent over all the time trying to cook. Plus this one's more stable and it doesn't sink into the ground because it sits dead flat on the floor, as you can see here. There's no legs as such, but it still keeps you off the ground, and it's even smaller and lighter. I don't know, 800 grams, something stupid. Really light. So that goes in. Right, this here is my Thermarest airbed. This is the, right in here, this is the yellow Neo Air, or Neo Air, is it? Neo 1 Air? I don't know. Yeah, and I also have the little battery pump and repair kit. It has a couple of holes in it I've repaired, but once it's repaired it's just as good. Okay, swivel that down, excuse me. Right, that goes in. Okay. I don't like things rattling about, so I tend to get things tight. Okay. Now what? Right. This is a cheap eBay air pillow. I tend to sit on it more than I lay on it, but it is an air pillow. Okay. That fits in. Military toilet roll. That fits in. Little tiny washing line off eBay. It's got little sliders, no pegs. It works right, does towels and stuff. You know, that's that. Nice and easy. Just chucks in the bottom. This one stays in here. This is clothes washing liquid, detergent, whatever, for washing clothes. Okay, then you're going to ask, what do I wash them in? Well, this is why I use metal panniers. If necessary, I can use this, agitate this, fill this with water. These are waterproof, and if there's waterproof outside, it's waterproof inside, so I can fill them with water and do washing in there or in the top if I don't want to use much, because these just attach here, and then I can remove them completely. Aluminium is just so much more versatile. Okay, right, next sleeping thing, Thermarest Synergy seat. Now basically this is like a fleece, very thin fleece overline, as the only word on it. It goes over the top of the sleeping bag. It just makes it very, very smooth to sleep on, instead of the plastic of the not the sleeping bag, sorry, sleeping mat. And just makes it softer to sleep on, because I tend not to sleep in my sleeping bag. I tend to sleep with it on top of me. I very rarely sleep inside it unless it's extremely cold. Okay, so that sits in there. Okay, now bear in mind this is the smaller one, the 31 litre. Okay, now here, this is a Vord self-inflating pillow. And there goes my cat. This needs to be, squeeze it down a bit and tighten it up, and that normally fits in there somewhere. Now right, so that's footprint for my tent. Okay, 3-person large footprint MSR tent. Okay, that fits in there. Cheapo foam mat. Oh, had it years. Surprised how much I use it. A couple of quid off eBay. Now, my tent. Hubertur 3. Okay, getting the light. Big vestibule, as you can see, and 3-man. And it probably is 3-man, to be honest. Most tents, when they say they're 3-man, aren't. And but this seems to be. But I think I've lost a peg somewhere off my tent. I've only got 3 pegs there. I thought I had 4. Oh, I'll have to find out where that one's gone. It might have gone inside, actually. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's in there. There it is. Okay. So my tent on top, these are MSR rock pegs. In Spain a few years ago, not with this tent, I'm really struggling on the hard dry ground to get them in, so I bought these, and I've not had them yet where they don't go in. They do go in. So this tent is light, 2-point-something kilos, 3-person, and a massive vestibule for your gear. So if it does rain, you don't need to worry about having a canopy or anything like that. You can cook inside it. Right, it's perfect for me because half of it inside does have a waterproof base and the other side doesn't, so when I'm cooking I can put stuff on the floor and not worry about burning the bottom of the tent, because the fly sheet only covers the sleeping area, it doesn't cover the vestibule. So this fits in here. Okay, so that's in there. Now this here is a RAM mounted floodlight spot lamp. It's from Twalcomm. It's one of the lights I had when I had my rally screen on my Husqvarna, and I swapped them out and put some brighter lights on it and put some big hellers, and but I held on to this. I fitted it on a ram with a lead, plugs into the bike, and it lights up in the evenings. I can mount it to the mirror mounts where my mirrors are, because I've got the double tape mirrors, and I can have a light when I set up at night if I need to. It uses it's 10 watts, but it uses like 1 amp. It's really low consumption. So that's it. So here, this bit here is free. There's loads of space, so if I need to fit anything on top, some food or anything else, I have room. And this is how it fits every time. After I've what's the phrase? Yeah, after I broke it down, it all fits in exactly the same. You're not struggling again. It's not like a suitcase. Fill it in when you come back and do more stuff. You haven't. It goes in easily. And I do have spare 2 or 3 inches, a couple of inches there, and that area if I need anything else. So clunk click every trip. Okay, now the other side is the big side, and as you can see, there's not much here. First thing you notice about the big side is I've fitted I can't remember if it's Givi or SW Motec or who makes this, but it's a charging point, and this then charges. There's a waterproof figure there, upside down. Okay, so then that plugs into a socket I have on my bike if I want to. It's not in there all the time. And then I got a charging facility here for if I want to charge anything while riding, like a battery pack or anything like that. Now what do we have? Trangia. This is a small one they make, not the very tiny little diddy thing, but this is the 27. and it's gas conversion. Alright, I use a gas conversion on it, hence the gas. Oh, I need another one of them because I'm short. Right, 1 second, I'll go get another one. So I always have at least 2. There we go. 2. Now, I think they go like this. Now there is my cooking kit. Alright, just in a little locky box. I normally have a few salt and pepper type thing, cooking oil, washing fluid, food bits and pieces. I do have a reasonably full size knife. I always carry my Swiss Army knife, but I have a proper knife for cooking vegetables. I do like to cook. I've also got a proper filter coffee strainer there, a proper metal cup. I've got a silicone one, which is okay. Seat Summit one, which is fine. But if I'm straining coffee, this one's got a really solid lip and it's down there. I've also got a wine glass. You know, I'm on holiday, don't forget. Or fruit juice glass in the mornings. And then, you don't remember how this all goes in now. It's a bit of a squeeze. There we go. Yeah, all my tongs and little stuff like that, what I use for cooking, which I've sort of like got over the years and developed over the years. So that, in theory, then sits in here. So the only thing that goes in here now, which isn't here, is my sleeping bag. It's a big down bag, and it's extreme is -30 something, comfort is -4. This is mainly why I don't bother having it on, sleeping in it, or just lay it on top like a quilt. I am considering changing to a quilt, especially for the summer, but we'll see. So that's not in here because that has to stay inside because it's down and it's in a big giant bag, but it compresses up and it takes roughly half of the space. That leaves that half free. Now that normally ends up with beer, no food, drink possibly, maybe an extra jacket or something like that. Then all my clothes for living in go on a small roll bag on the back of the bike here. Okay, which consists of shoes and off-bike clothes. Okay, that is it for camping. I don't take nothing else. I don't need nothing else. Oh, tools. They go in the top of this one. Yeah, with my tools. The tools are in a Climb tool bag in here. With the BMW, there's not too much you can do really. I'm not off-road too much when I'm loaded up like this. So this is mainly my touring setup and camping. Yeah, let's see if I can get this undone here. Excuse me. Cable ties, obligatory. Wheel spanner, extension, rear wheel nut size, Loctite, spark plug puller, wrench with a 13 socket, which does my front brakes. So I need to get the front wheel out for the wheel. Various nuts and bolts and pieces in there. Solder wire and a solder line. Solder line's really handy. You'd be surprised. Yeah, so the tools would normally go in the top, on top of the camping gear, easy to access. Yeah, so the tools will fit in the top there, easy access. On the back, I've just got some rock straps and a small bag. Now I've got a Lomo one, and I've also got a Giant Loop one, and a cheap Brainache Lidl type oldie one. It's a bit too big, that one is. Right, some of you, the more astute, might notice the bike is a different colour. Yeah, I bought some paint and some second-hand damaged panels, and I resprayed it. And some cheap graphics off AliExpress from China, and it hasn't come up too bad, to be honest. Nice shine to the paint. Had the paint mixed up. It's Nardo Grey, which they paint the RS Audis in. Yeah, put the black wheels in for the street. I've still got sort of semi off-road tyres on. my Pirelli Scorpions, my go-to tyre, and that's it. So the next stop will be the Adventure Bike Rally at Shakespeare Country, somewhere out Staffordshire way. I forget what it's called, but yeah, so that should be good. This gear will go, I say, and then my clothing software tends to be not too much. T-shirts, shorts, change of footwear, and that's about it. I sometimes take an extra jacket for off the bike in the evenings, like one of them compressible down jackets. That's about it really. You know, I don't take a lot. I think I got like that from riding the Husqvarna and the little 650s, where you just don't have the capacity. I've got the capacity to carry a lot more on this bike, but it's heavy enough as it is. If anything, that's too heavy. But yeah, so fingers crossed. Hopefully this COVID thing will get lifted in a few weeks, and it'll all be, or lessened, not lifted, and it'll all be done. Right, I don't think I can switch. Let's try it. So that'll be probably the next video I make now. I could do a gear kit, but what I wear, I might do that one day. I haven't done that for a long time. So yeah, that might be an option. So yeah, that's about all I have. The only other thing I probably might have, which isn't on there, is a little tiny tank bag, which I sometimes take, but not all the time. So sometimes if I'm off road, and I might take a small tank bag, a little Endurostan, tiny little diddy one, and that just holds my drone if I'm going to do some filming. That's it. You know, if I'm not filming, I'm not taking the drone, I won't take a tank bag. So I just don't find a need for it. You know, I don't have nothing I urgently need to get to in my tank bags. It's not an issue. Alright, until next time, if you're still watching this, you're not fell asleep, hurt yourself, harmed or anything like that, it's fantastic. Hit your like button, hit your subscribe button, tell all your mates who've got nothing else to do with their lives to watch it, and hopefully the next one I'll be seeing you when we do the ABR rally. Right, take care. There is one more thing. I've added a secondary fan to the other radiator from Twelcom. White shirt, yeah. Marriott Twelcom sent me this. Those GS riders know there's only one fan on this side of standard. Basically what happens is this radiator starts, I think it's this radiator starts up and gets warm. The thermostat cuts in around 83, I think, around 82, 83, and that kicks the other radiator in, or 86, 87, can't remember. But anyhow, it kicks the other one in somewhere between 80 and 90 degrees. The other radiator comes in. Then, if it reaches 100 degrees, the fan cuts in, and that'll knock it down to about 95, 96. Then that keeps working. So the Twelcom one basically picks up two wires off the original one, literally scotch locks in, powers the other one. Now I did that and it worked fine, and then it started to fault up, and when it faults up it knocked the stock fan out. So I had no fan, it was getting really hot. So anyhow, I thought the wiring was bad. I thought the fan is, I didn't know why it did it, and I still don't know why it did it to this day. So various messages back forward to Marriott Twelcom. He's never had one do it on a 50 or 60 he's sold worldwide. He's never had one do it. Mine's the only bike that's done it. So it could be one of many things. We changed all the wiring to it. We cut back the BMW wiring because that was a bit manky on the end till we got to some nice shiny stuff. We put it in properly done with a professional wirer, my mate Mo, who does all the wiring for the Norfolk Fire Service. So I knew it was wired in properly, and it was working. Then it didn't work again. It's faulted up again. It doesn't do it all the time. 1 in 8, 1 in 10, it'd fault up. But the problem is, once it faults up, that's it. You've got no fan on either side. So after various attempts at cleaning wires and everything, it was a case of either my ECU is extremely sensitive to this, or the fan has maybe a tight spot on it, or is pulling too much to start up, or something. I don't think I'll ever know. So we put a relay in, and I used a BMW wire which sends a feed to the fan. I spliced into that and used that as a trigger wire, sent it to a relay, powered it direct off the battery, so the CAN bus isn't even powering it, the battery is, and it's just getting a trigger from the BMW wire. Since then it's been absolutely fine, and it reduces the time when the engine's hot dramatically. I reckon 40 or 50%, I reckon, and instead of dropping it down to 95, 96 on my bike, it drops it down to 93, 94 without the fact that it really doesn't hold it down. My bike tends to run hot. Compared to my mate's GSA, it doesn't seem to run as hot as mine. His is normally 2 or 3 degrees lower. Whether it's because I have different radiator guards on, I've got the Alt Rider radiator guards, or whether it's because I don't have a catalytic converter, whether it's remapped, it's producing more power, I don't know. But definitely runs a bit warmer. So that's the other thing I've done. So that's just a little thing. If you do get one, then your bike does run hot, and if you're doing off-road work slow, it definitely helps. Definitely cools it quicker. I recommend one, but if it does fault up, but apparently mine is the only one, so just put it in with a relay. Okay, just put it in with a relay. Right, that's it. I am now going to go and edit this. Right, take care.